Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ridiculously Amazing Agent podcast. So happy to have you all here. So happy to, just enter March. I mean, March is my month. I'm Irish. It's got St. Patrick's Day in it. And at the end of the day, really the most amazing things in the world are, it's the end of the first quarter. So if we're looking at this, where are our goals? Are we on track? Are there things we're putting off? Is there things we need to get a handle on? So I think March, while albeit not the greatest weather month, is pretty awesome. And generally speaking, I believe, and I'm just going to check so I don't say the wrong thing, but I think that the time change happens in March, which is gigantic for an early bird like myself. So just so all my listeners out there know, typically Kelly Donahue Piro wakes up at 3:45 every single morning. Now you might be like, what? But I love having an hour to play my little iPhone games, read my book. No one's bothering me. Have my cup of coffee. I get to the gym at 5, and I, kind of just start my day from there. The reality of the situation is, I think I get more done between 3:45 and 10 o'clock than a lot of people. But that's just my strategy. Now, if you want to try to talk to me at 9 o'clock at night, I'm pretty much incoherent. But like my mom said, nothing good happens after 10 o'clock at night, so I'm not missing anything. But on today's podcast, we're going to talk a little bit about this taboo that we face all the time, which is, do you make renewal calls? Do you not? I know that there is a lot of strong opinions out there. I'm here to dissuade some of those myths because we are true believers of this. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about how it works. But first, let's break down March. So in March, I'm going to be headed to California to go work with an agency. And this is a fun one. I'm not going to name names, but some producer compensation changes. And so interesting enough, some of these things happen, laws change, things happen. So I'm going to be there, heading to Charlotte to go see Spivey Insurance for round 2 of our sales training. Working with our friends at Chalmers on their time management. They're killing it, by the way. Really excited, Chalmers. You guys are doing so awesome. Launching a new client on our time management program in Massachusetts, AJ Marchioni. So happy to be able to local. Also then heading out to Raleigh-Durham. Yeah, so if any of our Raleigh-Durham, Virginia people, I'm going to be there for 2 days with Pittman Insurance. They're a great nationwide agency. And then launching a client that we've worked with in the past, Pumo Insurance in Illinois. We're going to be giving them a retention strategy. So looking forward to that. Just have some little things here and there, heading back to Pennsylvania to work with another agency, and going to Iowa, which is always fun. At the very end of the month into April is actually Paradiso Presents in Iowa. So we'll be doing a few days out there in Iowa. I'm going to see our friends at Rocket Referrals. So thanks, Rocket Referrals, for hosting the next Paradiso Presents. If anybody wants to know more about Paradiso Presents, or you're looking for some 2-day marketing training, it's huge. First of all, you're in a room with awesome other agents. You're going to be at Rocket Referrals, and you're going to get hands-on training from people like myself, Keegan from Brightbeat, and Chris Paradiso. So tons of hands-on information, really awesome. Look at it, go to paradisopresents.com. But without further ado, that's our March. I want to talk about some of the actual comments I've heard about renewal calls. I want to talk a little bit about the pushback, the objections that we get. So if you're listening out there and you're terrified, you're like, hey, you know what, we're at a size agency where we're working our tails off, but really we're losing $200,000. We're selling $200,000 a month. We're losing $180. We're selling $100,000 in premium a month. We're losing $80. It's a tough place to be, and you have to approach it from many different angles. But one of the angles is being proactive. So there used to be this saying in insurance, don't poke the sleeping bear. And that's all I heard when I first got in. No, we can never call our customers. And this dawned on me that there's a couple things here we really need to talk about. One, if we call our customers and it makes it worse, that's something internally that we have to work on. But 2, today the world has changed so much where every TV commercial is poking your customer. So there was not nearly as much insurance advertising, especially in personal lines, but today there's $7 billion spent on personal lines advertising. So every time your customer hears something or is watching TV, they're going to see it. The other thing that's changed is EFT. EFT means they see their company name and their bank account many times a month. So it's, again, lessening that relationship. I'm a huge advocate for EFT. Don't think I'm not. But we have to do something to build that relationship. And lastly, with e-signature, being able to quote over the phone, yes, you can for those non-believers. the relationship has changed. So it's no longer come in and sign and shake hands. It's here's your e-sign fast and quick. Even the sale has turned into more of a transaction. And so we have to do things on the back end to keep that customer alive and happy. So the don't poke the sleeping bear, I'm always laughing about. I'm like, great, don't poke the sleeping bear, but they're going to get poked. And it just takes a few pokes, to come on over, which I'm sure that you don't want to do that. So, one of the things that we hear all the time is there's no way my team has time. There's just no way. They're overwhelmed. They're stressed out. They're crying at their desk. They can't even go pee. And that's the exact reason you actually need to do it, is because they are playing firefighter every day. They're doing the renewal scramble. Check out a recent blog I wrote on the renewal scramble and commercial lines. It's emergency, emergency. So they clear the deck and they hop on the emergency. The problem with that is that we're constantly in reactive mode. And when somebody is reacting to a price or something that's going on, what we end up doing is doing a transaction to solve that problem versus solving the root cause. So we might renew them this year, but next year they might shop. So we didn't really do ourselves any favors. If we can get through what we call the 60-day period of outlasting the suck, buckling down, practicing time management, staying focused, you can get to make every renewal call, and then you're 100% ahead and your world changes. And I can say this safely because we pull every single account manager that's been through our program. And right now we're running at 86% of people would not go back to the way it was. So that's a pretty staggering statistic. The other thing that people think is it's going to lead to more remarketing. We're going to call people, we're going to be reshopping. Well, that is the case if your team is not trained. Okay. So if your team is not strong on defending price, looking at discounts, understanding the market, understanding it, yes. If your team invites in more remarketing, won't. If when we go through our training, we really teach someone how to defend a reshop and do it in the right way possible. Also, when we're proactive, we have control of that call so much more, so we can make those recommendations. And the favorite objection I always hear is this, hey, my team's going to walk out. They're going to go on suicide watch if I do this. And I just have to kind of giggle at that a little bit. I'm like, okay, well, who's in control? And if you don't feel that you have influence over your team and you can support them and be positive about it, then really it's a leadership challenge. If your team walks out because you're going to be doing the best things for the agency and for the customers, guess what? They weren't the right fit anyway. And there are many ways. I'm going to give a shout out to Total CSR, good friends of ours. They actually have a program where you can learn all about, or you can take a new person off the street and help teach them insurance, all with online classes. So huge. So the fears need to be reduced for sure. So, there's a couple of things you got to do if you're going to get ready to make renewal calls. You got to get organized, decide you're going to do it off a report or download. I'll save my preference, but download is the way to go. You want to streamline the process so it's consistent. There should be a checklist, scripts, things like that. Hint, go on our online store. There's some scripts on there. We'll put those in the show notes. And you want to make sure that you're practicing and supporting the team. You also want to have some incentives. So when you're launching something new, it's not a bad thing to have incentives. Jeans days, give them a bottle of wine on Fridays, lottery tickets, $5 Starbucks cards, whatever it is, make them understand that you know that they're going through the 60-day suck period of getting used to something new and that you support them. And the biggest thing, you got to track it. If you have a team meeting and just say, hey, we're going to do renewal calls and walk out, what do you think is going to happen? That's not enough. You really need to think about an offsite training day. That's how we launch it. There's 2 training days, one at the start, one at the halfway point. Everyone's together. We're battling it out. We're role playing. We're making sure your team is prepared to do a stellar job. Because the sad thing is, if we're not doing the renewal reviews, we're missing opportunities for cross-selling and improving coverage. And this is one of those things where I think it's so important to think about. One of the biggest sources of new business can be your customers. Yay! So when you have your customers in there and there's cross-sell opportunities, say they're calling to change a vehicle, your team goes into transaction mode. And unfortunately, they don't always review the count, and the buyer may also not want to deal with it while they're buying a vehicle. So instead, we need a time and a place to insert those conversations. This helps your team be prepared, educate, and honestly, it's amazing how many people say yes. So something to think about. When you think in your mentality as customers only care about price, you're going to rub that off on your staff. And that's not a great way to look at things. The customers care about price in the absence of value. And these renewal review calls drive value home. So yes, it's about price if they don't understand it. When I go to a mechanic, I don't understand the value of the parts and everything else. So to me, it's about price until I met my husband. And now he is an absolute lunatic about what mechanics and the garage dealerships and everything else. I'm like, hey, you're obviously passionate about this. We'll spend more money. But people rely on price in the absence of value. Then the other thing on cross-selling, which helps come out in the renewal calls, is some people don't believe in certain products, life insurance or umbrella insurance. Little sneaky tip, go find out how many of your team members have umbrellas, flood insurance, whatever it might be. You really can't sell something that, that you don't believe in. And so this program helps strengthen all that. The other thing you want to make a point out to is having your team have more control improves morale. So yes, there's the 60-day suck period where it's a little dark, but at the end of 6 months, the team morale has changed. They are more confident. They're more in control. And so if your morale is being a little, under the weather, this is a huge opportunity to boost them up and say, hey, we need a better plan. We're working too hard to not get ahead. And those incentives definitely do help. The other sneaky, it's not really that sneaky, component of it is you're going to help your E&O. Everybody's human. Everyone's missed putting a car on. Everybody's processed something incorrectly. Well, this is a great way to proactively clean it up before it's that scramble of OMG. What are we going to do about this? So it's just another option there that you can kind of go after. One of the things we strongly advocate against, and I know there's a lot of agencies out there doing it, is what we call the automatic reshop, okay? The automatic reshop is my rate went up $200. We're going to shop it and call you. I can't tell you the amount of time you are wasting in your agency. Just track how many people you even talk to. And also, then all the time you're picking up the phone, price. And so the customer hasn't asked for it. We think we're doing a good job because we're playing the price game, but I'm going to tell you something. It's not the way to get ahead. Replace that reshop with a phone call, get the updates, and then determine if you're going to reshop, and everybody is happy. And then on top of it all, what may happen is we go ahead and we reshop somebody and we email them the reshop quote. What an excellent way for them to forward that on to a bunch of people and see if they can beat it. No emailing quotes, not on the sales side, not on the remarket side. I'd rather you email an application after you've explained it than email a quote ever. And one of the fears your team may have by making renewal review calls is, what do I say? This person's rate went up 18%. It's not uncommon for all of us to think with our own back pocket rather than the customers. You need to be immune to pricing. Now, that doesn't mean you can't make a decision to reshop them, but you have to go out there and deliver the news of this is what the situation is and this is why and what the plan is. There's more ways than ever to apply discounts, but we don't love talking about teletronics or changing their deductible or safe driving classes. You just need to give people options. When anyone is concerned, options are your friend. Now, they may not want to get on EFT. They may not want to pay in full, but you've just provided them 5 or 6 options of how to get that premium down, and then the ball is in their court. Now, of course, if the premium is out of whack, we should reshop it. I'm not advocating for 0 reshops, but I am advocating for us to get stronger of talking about price and not shying in the corner like, your price went up 18%. I don't know what we're going to do. Is it your favorite phone call? No. But is it one that you can kick butt on? Yes. So let's do it. The other thing is that we want to make sure that when we're reshopping someone, we're always improving coverage. You can reshop your book away today. And that's what ends up keeping personal lines margins just keeping your nose above water. That's not going to work. Instead, what we really need to do is improve coverages, explain it. And another thing I believe in that I think a lot of people kind of shy away from is placing business. You need to have a couple core carriers that pay the commissions well, you've got great relationships with. And if all things are in range, 50, $100, whatever it might be, put them with your core carriers. Don't go down to the lowest rate. That lowest rate won't be the lowest rate next year. And you're just going to end up in the same bucket. And it's really, really, really a scramble at that point. So, those are our top tips on the renewal review calls. I just can't speak enough about the power of it. And I don't want to speak enough about the power of it. I want you to hear from some of our clients as well. So go check out our testimonials. Ask me for references. One of the first things I usually want to talk to a new agent is like, don't make me tell the story. I'm going to tell you my side. Talk to the agents that have been through it. And what their feedback is that, it works, it was hard, but we wouldn't go back. And that's the key to success. So renewal reviews are huge. It's a great time, by the way, to get started before the summer rush. You want to get those in play for sure before some of the team goes out on summer break. So if you're interested, give us a call. If not, just go on our website, buy the scripts, talk to other agents, try to do it on your own, but do not leave your renewals to chance, and do not think about poking the sleeping bear. Let me tell you something. They are getting poked, and it's your opportunity at this point to make it different. So have a great day, and we look forward to seeing everybody at Paradiso Presents. We look forward to catching up with everybody on social media. So if anybody needs anything, definitely check out our blogs, subscribe to us on YouTube. So many different ways that you can engage with us. But our main goal is we just want to see agencies succeed. And even if it's without our help, we've got plenty of blogs. And we're launching our performance pack. So for those of you who don't know what this is our on-demand training. So if you're frustrated by cancellations or team not cross-selling or producers you're not a prospect, or even your own leadership or a marketing, you're not sure how to run an email marketing campaign, we're going to start building a library of on-demand trainings. So what this means is you could buy them online and take a course, couple classes with a great workbook, even role-playing videos, yes, so your team hears how it all works. And we're going to launch 2 trainings a quarter, build up a library. You can join our subscription where you get everything. Or, and you get to pick from one of the 2 every month to get our print workbook on. Or you can just buy the course outright and say, hey, I just want to learn about it. So right now, we're in beta testing. So we have 16 beta testers. You know who you are, you lucky ducks. But then after that, we're going to release it to anybody who's had an active contract with us over the summer. And then we're going to release it to everybody else. So if that's something you're interested in, check out our page where you can sign up for updates. We'd love to hear from you. But in the meantime, keep watching, guys. If you have any questions, reach out to me on social media or email me. Happy to help. Until next time, have a wonderful March. If you enjoyed this video and want to get more video updates from us, go ahead and click subscribe and then click the bell. We hope that you enjoy our videos, and we look forward to providing you ridiculously amazing tips for you and your team.